So, if the Insurtech people in the room can raise their hands, I'm Kayvon, we have Hutch, we have Trisha and Nerjeet as well. We actually just came back from our selection day in California last week, where we had 65 of the world's biggest insurance companies come in for our selection day, which is essentially what makes up the companies that become part of our batch. So we're now on batch 4 for Insurtech, and we had 54 startups come to our headquarters in Silicon Valley to come pitch, and from there we'll have 35 companies become part of the eventual batch. So I'm about to show a video on, it is essentially a wrap-up video on the selection day that we had last week. Okay.
An industry that doesn't innovate will die. Emerging businesses, startups tend to be where the truly new ideas are coming out.
Startups are essential for any industry to move forward, especially with industries like insurance, ripe for fresh blood.
And we're finally at this moment in time where these big insurance corporations are finally willing to innovate and look outside their own walls.
There's a huge Insurtech push right now, a lot of investment in technology. And so, as companies are doing this, one of the biggest pushes is the opportunity to improve the customer experience. We utilize Plug and Play to review ideas, meet new companies. Our view is be committed to it and it'll be successful.
We know we can't be the best in everything, and we're more than happy to partner with successful startups whenever we see that makes sense.
We've been a proud sponsor of the Insurtech program since the beginning. This is our 4th cohort, and we've seen a real uptick in the quality of startups that have pitched, much more focused on the areas that we care about. We look forward to seeing a lot more of those.
Even before we came here to pitch today, we already were awarded 4 deal sessions, and out of the 4, 2 have already turned into pilots for us. You don't get this type of exposure anywhere else.
We went through Y Combinator this summer. That was very much focused on business growth and investment. Plug and Play is much more on the kind of B2B corporate side. It's pretty much unparalleled in terms of the ability to get access to the types of stakeholders that we would want to be presenting in front of.
So important is your Rolodex. Plug and Play gives us such a great opportunity to be able to tie in to those relationships.
Plug and Play helps us meet the right people, and we believe that something very good is going to come out.
Alright, so what this video does is it kind of just showcases one of our major events, which is Selection Day. We have that twice a year in Silicon Valley, as well as you get to hear from a lot of the key stakeholders from our Insurtech network globally. Here's a list of our 65 partners that work with us in Silicon Valley. What I'd like to point out here is that we work with 3 of the largest reinsurers in the world. We work with a lot of the biggest carriers around the world, the biggest brokers, and we even added our first software provider, Guidewire, joined us this year as well. So a nice little bit of diversity in the corporate partners that we have here. I think the clicker is perfect. Here are the locations that we have around the world. I think by now you have realized that Plug and Play is a very global organization. We launched New York, Munich, and Tokyo in November, and we are looking to launch Beijing and Singapore in 2018 as well. Here's a few stats on our Insurtech program. We launched in May of 2016, so it hasn't even been 2 years yet. It's kind of a testament to the amazing growth that we've had here at Plug and Play's Insurtech program. A couple of things I'll point out is that we have finished 3 batches of startups. So we have 100 plus startups incubated, and we've made at least 25 investments in the space, and that number is rapidly growing as well. So there's a lot of information on this slide, but I'll try to highlight a few of the things that we focus on here on the Insurtech vertical. The first is deal flow sessions. A few of you guys had that with us yesterday. These are essentially one-on-one meetings you have with companies. The whole ecosystem and platform and the 12-week BD program, we have that twice a year in Silicon Valley, and we're looking to have those in our satellite offices as well. And a few other things in terms of our partners asked us to make a fund, so now we're looking to raise an Insurtech fund in our LPs will be our corporate partners, as well as the scope into other industries is something that you'll see in a lot of the startups that are pitching right now. They're not just Insurtech focused, we have a mobility program, IoT, Fintech. A lot of these industries have an influence on the insurance industry, and so Insurtech startups come from a variety of, a lot of these different verticals. Lastly, this is a timeline of what we're looking to do here in Singapore. Our opening event is in March, which is today, yesterday and today. And we're looking to have our first selection day and the launch of the program in July and August of this year, with our first expo in November.